Hello family, welcome to Twitreadings, and we are beginning the book The Richest Man in Babylon, written by George Samuel Clason, who was a publisher in 1874. He put together a series of pamphlets on thrifts and financial success, using parables set in ancient Babylon to make each of his points. This book is divided into 11 sections, which are the historical sketch of Babylon, the man who desired gold, the richest man in Babylon, 7 cures of a lean purse, meet the goddess of good luck, the 5 laws of gold, the gold lender of Babylon, the walls of Babylon, the camel trader of Babylon, the clay tablet from Babylon, and the luckiest man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon is a book about financial laws used in the Babylonian era, which helped them to become rich people over time, and it helped them gain financial success in whatever they did. Now one would ask, why the title The Richest Man in Babylon? We'll take a summary on the historical sketch of Babylon. In the pages of history, there was no city as glamorous as Babylon was. Babylon's name conjured visions of wealth and splendor. Its treasures of gold and jewels were fabulous. So one will naturally picture such a wealthy city as located in a suitable setting of tropical luxury, surrounded by rich natural resources of forests and mines. But such was not the case at all. It was located beside the Euphrates River in a flat, arid valley. It had no forest, in fact no mines, not even stones for building. It was not even located upon the natural trade routes. The rainfall was not sufficient to even raise crops. The only natural resources Babylon possessed were fertile soil and then water in the river. So how do they get the water in the river onto the soil? With one of the greatest engineering accomplishments of this or any other day, Babylonian engineers diverted the waters from the river by means of dams and immense irrigation canals. Far out across that arid valley went these canals to pour a life-giving water over the soil. This ranks among the first engineering feats known in history. Such abundant crops as were the reward of this irrigation system the world had never seen before. Fortunately, during this long existence, Babylon was ruled by successive lines of kings, to whom conquest and plunder were but incidental. While it engaged in many wars, most of these were local or defensive against ambitious conquerors from other countries who coveted the fabulous treasures of Babylon. The outstanding rulers of Babylon live in history because of their wisdom, enterprise, and justice. Babylon produced no-strutted monarchs who sought to conquer the known world that all nations might pay homage to their egotism. Babylon is an outstanding example of man's ability to achieve great objectives, using whatever means that are at their disposal. All the resources supporting this large city were man-developed. All of its riches were man-made. As a city, Babylon exists no more. When those energized human forces that built and maintained the city for thousands of years were withdrawn, it soon became a deserted ruin. The glory of Babylon has faded, sadly, but its wisdom has been preserved for us. For this we are indebted to their form of records. These wisdom were engraved on tablets of moist clay and then baked and kept for us to find. Archaeologists did their best to find out these laws of financial success. Babylonians were skilled in art. Babylonians were clever financiers and traders. Money is a medium by which earthly success is measured. Money makes possible the enjoyment of the best earth affords. Money is plentiful for those who understand the simple laws which govern its acquisition. Money is governed today by the same laws which controlled it when prosperous men thronged the streets of Babylon 6,000 years ago. So what do we learn? What do we get from the historical sketch of Babylon? It tells us that Babylon was not a land of luxury. Babylon was not rich. Babylon was not fabulous. They didn't have any natural resources, no mines, nothing, not even trade routes. The only things they had were fertile land and water in the river. But what happened? They became a luxurious city. They became prosperous. They became rich. They had all money could afford. How? They didn't look at what they didn't have. They looked to what they had and made use of what they had. They built canals to transport the water in the river to the fertile lands. And they produced crops that the world had never seen. They became a rich city with lots of riches. Their leaders were great. They weren't seeking world fame. No, they were fighting against cities that wanted to convert what belonged to their country. It tells us that we can make use of what we have now. Babylon didn't have anything, but they had a mindset to be rich. They had a mindset to protect what they have, and had a mindset to take action and prove themselves to themselves, not to the world. So this book is going to take us through the laws, the financial rules that Babylon laid down for us. The laws which rich men in Babylon followed to become as rich as they were. So we are going to follow these laws one by one, not taking heed to what we don't have, but what we have. Thank you so much for listening. Our next reading is going to be on the man who desired gold. How many of us desire gold? How exactly are we going to get that gold? We desire it. We've been desiring it for ages, but it seems we are not getting it. The next section of this book is going to talk about the man who desired gold. So stay tuned. This is Twitreadings. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is Twitreadings. And on YouTube, Twitreadings just for you.